Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have news to share about the midterms and early voting. So I'm going to break this into different segments for you guys. But as of now, voting appears to be on par with the record breaking numbers that were seen in 2018. According to Pew Research, voting in the 2018 midterm election was the highest since 1978. And here's how it compares to what we're seeing so far this year. As of October 22nd of 2018, approximately 5 million people had already cast their ballots in early voting. As of October 22nd of this year, 5.8 million people had done the same. In Ohio, early voting has surpassed 2018 levels already by 2.7%. North Carolina is reporting roughly the same amount of votes that were cast in 2018. And Georgia, as I shared with you guys last week, they have exceeded their record-breaking early voting figures from 2018. What we don't know is who's casting the ballots, right? Who are these people voting for? And if anyone tries to tell you that they know for sure, they're lying. The polls are all over the place. In general, the polls, the pollsters, they've failed us. They've been wrong for so many years now. I believe it's due to a confluence of factors, including new and previously unlikely voters who are now coming out in droves. They're not being taken into consideration. Also, the public just doesn't feel safe. They don't feel safe sharing their opinions and their political leanings with strangers anymore. Having said all that, here's who did share their political opinions with various journalists. And one thing that's become apparent and seems to be very popular right now is ticket splitting. This seems to be a common theme in Georgia, especially, but also a little bit in other states. So, for example, the Washington Post interviewed one Pennsylvania swing voter. This is a man named John Tucker. He actually held a fundraiser and he made phone calls for the Republican Senate nominee, Dr. Oz. This is in Pennsylvania. However, this same guy said that the Republican candidate for governor, Doug Mastriano, is far too extreme. So he's going to be voting for Josh Shapiro. Likewise, there was a Georgia voter they spoke with who backed Trump in 2016 and 2020. He plans to vote for Republican Brian Kemp for governor, but the stories about violence, the threats, all these other allegations against Republican candidate Herschel Walker, who's running for the Senate, he said, this is just beyond the pale. So this guy, he's a swing voter. He's going to be casting his ballot for Senate for Raphael Warnock. Another Georgia voter said that he is going to hold his nose and vote for Walker, just like he did with Trump. But he told the news outlet that he knows of approximately 20 other Republicans who said that they plan to vote for the Republican for governor, Brian Kemp, but they're going to vote for the Democrat, Raphael Warnock, for Senate. Sarah Longwell is a Republican strategist, and she's been conducting these focus groups comprised of all swing voters. And she recently released some of her findings to the Bulwark news outlet. Although ticket splitting has become more and more rare over the years, swing voters often don't have a loyalty to any one party. They don't fully align with the ideologies of either the right or the left. So they seem to operate more on gut instinct and, that specific candidate quality. And Longwell said that in her recent research, these swing voters expressed a desire to, quote, provide a correction on the Democrats. And the question is whether they can find candidates that they can stomach to do that. So that's a nice way of saying they don't want to vote for batshit crazy Q-loons. Longwell also said that her focus group participants were initially against both Dr. Oz and Doug Mastriano in Pennsylvania. They've recently, though, softened their stance on Oz due to crime rates and their perception of his opponent, John Fetterman, as being soft on crime. So that would account for how Oz has managed now to close the gap in the polls as of late. Not good for Democrats. This appeared to be a great pickup seat for the Dems, and it's now slipping away. So Anyway, guys, I'll let you know when I hear more. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.